Welcome to Anna Market Perspectives.
Friday market recap. Tariffs, farmers, and a narrow tech rally. Welcome back to Anna Market Perspectives. In the next few minutes, I will walk you through the S&P 500 weekly heat map, the latest turns in Trump's tariff strategy, the key economic data, the Global Futures Board, and a short update on our watch list, Invesco QQQ, Broadcom, and Oracle. This week's heat map shows a market that is modestly positive, but still driven by a few mega caps. In technology, Broadcom was the clear winner, jumping after earnings and lighting up the semiconductor box, while Nvidia slipped and Apple finished a bit lower. Microsoft and several software names edged higher, so chips and cloud did most of the work. Communication services and consumer stocks were mixed. Amazon held a small gain, while Alphabet, Meta, and Tesla pulled back. The index ended the week only slightly higher, and leadership stayed narrow. Tariffs again dominated the macro backdrop. President Trump announced a $12 billion aid package for American farmers, funded with tariff revenues, to cushion weak prices and lost export markets. Farm organizations say the checks help but do not repair the damage from the trade war. At the same time, he is threatening an extra 5% duty on Mexico over a water dispute, and the White House is carving out more food items to ease grocery bills after earlier cuts on beef, coffee, and bananas. All of this unfolds while the Supreme Court reviews his emergency tariff powers, leaving companies unsure whether today's duties will endure or be refunded. The data flow pointed to slower global momentum, but no sudden break. Japan reported negative third-quarter growth, while China posted stronger exports and a wider trade surplus as manufacturers redirect sales to other regions. In the United States, the labor market stayed firm, with a small gain in private payrolls and job openings still high relative to expectations. The main event was the Federal Reserve decision, where the Fed cut its policy rate from 4% to 3.75% and repeated that future moves will depend on incoming data. On the futures board, United States equity indices finished the week close to flat, with the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ futures all hovering near last Friday's levels, and the small-cap Russell Index only slightly higher. Europe and Japan did a little better, and the VIX Volatility Index stayed in the mid-teens, pointing to calm but cautious sentiment. In commodities, West Texas crude traded just under $58 a barrel, natural gas cooled after its spike in gold, silver and copper slipped, while soft commodities such as coffee and orange juice stayed firm, and grains were choppy. The dollar index edged higher, and Bitcoin held close to 93,000. For the bonus section, we return to our watch list: Invesco QQQ, Broadcom, and Oracle. QQQ finished the week near its middle Bollinger Band with a gently fading MACD, telling us the trend is still up but in consolidation. Broadcom remains the leader, holding in the upper half of the band after its earnings gap with a strong MACD, so shallow pullbacks look like buy the dip opportunities. Oracle is still stuck in the lower half of the band after its gap down, and its MACD is only starting to improve, which argues for patience until price can break back above the middle band. We finished the week with markets caught between supportive central banks and unpredictable tariff headlines. Technology leadership is intact thanks to Broadcom and a resilient QQQ, but stock-by-stock dispersion is growing, and policy risk around trade remains high. The game plan is to stay selective, avoid chasing extended moves, and keep position sizes reasonable around key support levels. Let price action, not headlines, guide your decisions, and I will see you on Monday for the pre-market setup.
Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, hit subscribe and share this with others. See you next time on Anna Market Perspectives.